Sussex slipped to a 5th defeat from 6 in the Royal London One Day Cup, their latest loss at home by just 9 runs to Hampshire. Bowling first after winning the toss, the Sharks were celebrating in the 8th over when Tom Alsop picked out George Garton with a stunning catch off Chris Jordan. Jimmy Adams and Adam Wheaton made steady progress after an opening stand of 37. They went on through much of the remainder of the first half of the innings. Hampshire had 44 runs on the board after 10 overs and 102 after 20 as these two batsmen picked up the scoring rate. Adams reached a 50 off 51 balls with his 6th 4 made just after he cleared the rope, the only 6 of the innings. He was going along very nicely indeed. 87 runs were added in 15 overs by this pair, their stand only coming to an end when Jordan ran out Wheater for 42, a brilliant and important piece of fielding. The pace slowed up thanks to Will Beer and Chris Nash, the former trapping Sean Irvine in front for 14, Hampshire on 152 for 3 with 20 overs remaining. Adams needed 8 for his 100 when he was taken behind off a short ball from Garton, the visitors on 173 for 4 after 34. Garton also did for Liam Dawson and Will Smith for figures of 3 for 40 in just his 8th List A match, and that spell for the 19-year-old had Hampshire in trouble on 198 for 6 with 10 overs left. But Ryan McLaren finally gave any visiting support something to cheer about as he played a bright knock with these boundaries off Jordan. He lost Lewis McManus and then Gareth Berg at the other end. While Jordan dismissed Gareth Andrew for 14 in the last over, McLaren ended on 46, made out of his side's 268 for 5. That was no more than par on this pitch, and when Phil Salt went on the attack off Berg, and Ed Joyce played with some aggression too, Sussex had just the start they wanted. But McLaren then removed Salt via the inside edge for 17 with a score on 31 for 1 in the 8th over. Joyce also played on, this time off Andrew for 16 as the Sharks lost wickets just as partnerships began to develop. Luke Wright and Harry Finch carefully compiled 39 runs for the 3rd wicket in 10 overs. But then Finch was the 3rd batsman in the innings to be bowled. Halfway through the reply, only 91 runs were on the board and another 178 were wanted for the next 25 overs. Wright knew he had to get on with things. But just when he looked like the man, he plugged a slow full toss from Brad Wheel to Andrew to go with 45 runs to his name. So Ben Brown and Nash were left with lots to do, the latter going big off Wheel as the target was taken down to 121 of the final 15 overs. That was reduced to 93 off the last 10, but by now Sussex had 2 men in, both with more than 30 runs to their names. Brown found the boundaries just when he needed to, his 6th taking him to his half-century, made from 48 deliveries. The 45th over was the one which appeared to have the Sharks on top, Nash reaching a 59-ball 50 with this 6 in an over that cost 14 runs and reduced the target to 49 off 5. And when Nash began the 46th with his 3rd maximum, a second win in this competition seemed the most likely outcome. But with 35 needed off 22 balls, Brown was out for a List A best of 62, ending a superb partnership of 125. Jordan came in and after Wheeler delivered an over which went for only 3, he smashed McLaren over the rope, only to be on his way next ball, leaving 17 runs to find off the very last over of the match. Nash had the strike but just couldn't do enough in spite of an early boundary in the over, Sussex ending on 259 for 6, Nash's 69 off 75 balls, just not quite enough. So that meant a 9-run defeat and no real chance of going any further in this competition, with matches to come at Taunton on Saturday and at home to Kent next Tuesday. Ahead of that is Thursday's must-win T20 game at home to Glamorgan.